Okay, I think that we are finally live here. Thank you all for joining me. I am so happy that you're all here and that we can talk about the energies from this lunar eclipse that happened either last night or early this morning, depending on where you're located. Now, I want you guys to know just a little bit to get started here. For those of you who haven't met me personally, my name is Angela Boswell. I'm here in South Florida. And if you want to learn more about me, just go to angelaboswell.com. You can email me, angela@angelaboswell.com. I'll be glad to get in touch with you. Now, I know that there's a chat going on below me for YouTube, but I can't see it because I'm brand new to this software that I'm using, and I was so scared I would get really distracted during this time. So, my friend Mary is watching the chat room for me, and I have my cell phone here, and she's texting me things that if you can't hear me, or if I need to repeat something, or if I need to explain it a little more, or anything like that, just write that in the chat room, and then Mary's going to text me and let me know. If this all goes well, maybe next time I'll actually be able to read the chat while I'm doing this, but I'm not that coordinated yet, so I'm still trying to figure it all out. So, how many of you out there have felt some type of energy shift since the eclipse, or even as it was happening, you started feeling something, and then today you feel something a little different? I know I can't be the only one. I know you guys have got to be feeling this too. It could be little things like your head may be buzzing. You may feel like you're not really sure what to feel, but you want to feel something, but you're not sure what it is. You may feel a little sleepy. You may feel a little confused, or you may start to feel like you're expecting something, but you don't know what it is. Okay. All of that's completely normal. It's also very normal right now to just let things happen and unfold and just kind of be a little chill about it. Okay, I'll get into all that. So let's get started on what we were experiencing. So last night we had a lunar eclipse on a full moon in Leo. It was also a supermoon, a blood moon, and a wolf moon. Okay. So, what that means is it was a supermoon. So, the moon was in its orbit closest to the earth at the time during the eclipse. So, what that means for us is that the energy that's brought about from the moon is going to be stronger than normal. You can notice it around here because we live near the ocean and the tides are really high the last couple of days. Now, if you want to go a step further with that, water is emotion, and our emotions are also going to be running pretty high for the next few days. So we'll get into that also, too. Everything has a metaphysical meaning behind it, of course, right? So that's why it was a supermoon. It was also called a blood moon, and that's because when the earth moves between the sun and the moon, it casts a red shadow over the moon, so it looks dark red, so that's why it's called the blood moon. Now, from the metaphysical standpoint, it could activate your root chakra. So you may be starting to question issues around your foundation of your life as far as your security, your close relationships, anything that you build your foundation of life on, you may start questioning those things brought about by the root chakra being stimulated with the blood moon. Makes sense, right? It was also called a wolf moon. And that was because I think it came from the Native Americans, but I do know that the first moon of the new year is the wolf moon. And it's believed that, here we are in the dead of winter, and the wolves can go out and hunt during this bright night. So that's why it's called the wolf moon. But I also think that some of that wolf energy will be affecting us in the upcoming months. But mainly what I want to talk about is Leo. It is that all of this took place last night in the sign of Leo. Now, for those of you who know me well, you know that I'm a double Leo. I have sun and moon both in Leo. So I think I'm an expert in Leo. So I'm the perfect person to talk about how crazy this time is going to be because of Leo. Now, I've also put a few notes over here. I'm still learning this whole camera thing, but I believe they're over here on what I'm going to be talking about tonight. So then that way you can kind of see where I'm going and go with the flow on this. First, I'm going to take some time and explain about the effects that we're feeling and what's going on through this, and then we're going to do a meditation also. So, for those of you who used to come to my meditation classes, I know you've been asking me to do more meditation, so I'm happy to finally present this to you and to get back into it. And I hope you find it as enjoyable as the ones that we used to do in person all of the times. Okay, so let's talk about what you're going to experience. Now, this was such a powerful lunar eclipse that you're going to feel these effects for about the next 3 months. The main place that you're going to notice changes in your life, it's going to be in your relationships. That's where it's going to show up for you. So I'm going to ask you to start being aware of things that you haven't noticed in the past that are coming to your attention now. The reason why that's happening is because they're rising to the top so that you can deal with them. Just like everything, if you're just aware and you just do what you're told and follow the signs, life's so much easier. So I'm going to give you that roadmap right now, okay? Look for imbalances in your relationships where you probably did not see them before. So maybe you start becoming aware that you're doing all the work in a relationship, or maybe that you're not carrying your weight in a relationship. Something is out of balance there. Now, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships and marriages and all of that. I'm also talking about relationships with friends, co-workers, superiors at work, and also family relationships. These can be about siblings or it can be about children or parents. You'll just start to notice that there are some things that don't sit quite well with you anymore. Or all of a sudden you come across new information that you didn't put together and you start thinking, well, hey, I never thought about it like this, but you know what? I know why that happened. I know what that's about. I need to deal with this kind of thing. Those imbalances are there for a reason. It's like a little tap on the shoulder saying, hey, honey, you need to look over here because there's something going on over here and it's time for you to address that and look at that in your life. Okay, so you're going to start becoming aware of imbalances. Also, being a Leo and all of this being the Leo energy that's affecting us, one of the downfalls of a Leo is that they can have misguided loyalty. They will stay with people much longer than it's healthy for them to do, or with jobs, or in situations they just don't like to let go and say goodbye and move on. They're going to draw it out until it is completely done and over. Okay? Don't be like that. This Leo energy is coming into your life so that you can look at things that are done, that are completed. Maybe there's something out there that you've been holding on to and you just have not had the courage to let go of it. Now's the time. That's part of the gift in this is that Leo energy is going to bring confidence to you and courage to you so that it's going to point the way and say this is where we need to change, and then it's going to be like a wind at your back and it's going to push you with courage and confidence to make the changes that you need to make. So start thinking about the things in your life that it's time to complete. Perhaps it's time to complete eating all that sugar. Perhaps it's time to complete laying on the couch and you need to go to the gym and work out. Perhaps it's time to complete your resume so that you can send it out and start looking for another job. Perhaps it's time to complete a relationship that's been hanging on. Or perhaps you haven't given someone an answer yet and it's time for you to do that. It's just time for you to finish up things that need to be done so that you can move on. And part of the gift of the energy coming through is that you're going to start feeling more of a sense of focus, of purpose, of direction, moving forward. You're going to start feeling more of that so that as you start tying up these things and you get ready to move on, you're going to have everything you need to do it. All you have to do is step into it and do it. Now, you don't have to make any sudden moves. It's not a time to make sudden moves. This is a time to tie up loose ends, to complete projects. And actually, I advise not making any sudden moves because you don't want to just jump into something. That's another downfall of that Leo energy. Is you see something bright and shiny over there, over there, and it's like, oh, look at that. That is much better than this. That's bright and shiny. This is old and dull and boring. Let's go do that. Let's just leave this and go do that. That's much more fun. You don't want to do that at this time. You want to stay the course. You want to stick with what you're doing and tie it all up and then move forward. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody out there? Please feel free to put anything in the chat room. Mary's going to let me know. Okay? So that's what's starting to happen in our relationships is we notice these things, especially balance and loyalty. We're also going to be moved to more open communication. So if there is something that you've really been wanting to talk about, something that you've really been wanting to address, and you just, I don't know, just felt like maybe it wasn't the right time, or, oh, I really don't want to hurt their feelings, or that kind of thing, now's the perfect time. Now, the next 3 months, perfect time to address these issues about communication and really voicing your opinions. And, you know, perhaps maybe you need to voice your opinion one more time before you let go and complete things and move on, just so you know in your heart that you did everything that you could before it was time to leave. Maybe that's that little bit, but it's the right time for that open communication for you. Also, looking at your freedom is going to be really important at this time. So perhaps you look at your job and you think, oh, I make good money, but I don't have any freedom. I just go to work every day, same place, I do the same thing, and I'm not free to pursue my passions or my hobbies or to find joy. So, issues around freedom are going to come up for you too. Of course, they're going to come up in relationships. I think that's the first thing that we think is, oh my God, I need my freedom. I'm suffocating. Or I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I know that's a really important to a Leo, and for you in this Leo energy is to really notice your freedom and when you feel constrained and when you feel free, and to focus on those things that make you feel like you have a sense of freedom because that's where creativity lies as well. We'll also see some issues between social and private, our social life and our private life. We'll see kind of issues going back and forth with that. We may see a little more of a filter, just a tiny bit, but I think sometimes any kind of filter would be great for social media posts. Perhaps, maybe, just maybe, some people out there, you know who you are, may not want to be so public about their private lives, right? I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are, but there are people out there that are just a little too public about their private lives, right? On the other hand, you may start thinking that you want to be a little more sociable. You may want to not be as private. You may want to pull yourself out of the cave at home and interact a little more and be more social. We may also see that people are being a little more private in their social lives, meaning that we find small groups of friends that we like to be with and share our lives with and feel comfortable with and build community with, more than doing that online anymore, or maybe just to a lesser extent. That Leo energy wants us to be social and be the life of the party and be out there and share our whole lives with everyone, whether they want to know it or not. So that energy is going to affect each of us in different ways depending on where we are and what we're going through. So you'll see a little bit of that coming up. Also, issues around leadership are going to be coming up for you during this time. So you'll need to look at your life and see where you have not stepped up to be a leader. Sorry, some people haven't done that. It's time to do that. Okay? So the opportunities are going to come your way to step up. Step up to the plate. Here's your opportunity. Here's the thing that you've been wanting, that you've been waiting for. Now's the time. Step up. and just do it. Okay? Like I said, this Leo energy is going to give you courage and confidence like a wind at your back, just pushing you along, doing the things that you've dreamed of doing. Now the energy is going to support you in this. So step up into those leadership positions. On the other hand, if you are always the leader, you're always taking control, you're always taking over projects, or you're picking up all the pieces after everyone else just dropped them and didn't pick up the balls, and you're there picking them up and trying to make use of all this stuff that people left behind and complete projects and always trying to force things to happen. Also, that's another issue around leadership on the opposite side that you're going to have to look at. Maybe it's time for you to step back from being such a leader and let others step into it so they can understand the responsibilities that come with leadership, and they can understand how their soul can grow through these experiences. So, leadership can go either way. And I think you already know which one that you have to deal with. If you need to let go and delegate a little bit, hold other people accountable more, or if you need to be the one that needs to step into that energy, take control over it, and move ahead in your life. You know which one you are, so do that. It's coming up for you. Do it now. And that's another point that I want to make is that the reason why I talk with people so much about the energies in the universe that are going on with us is that we can work with those energies. We can flow with them. We can do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it. Life's so much easier if you do it that way. The other option is for you to not do things that are presented to you, and then you try to force these other things that it's not time for, and life is miserable because you live it in resistance. So, the whole purpose of me talking tonight about this energy is that I want you to know how to take the path of least resistance, how to work with the things that are showing up for you right now when it's just a little tap on your shoulder, just a little, hey, Ange, you need to look over here because there's something going on, right? That's what this energy is. And if you ignore it and you say, I'm not dealing with that right now. No, no, not going to do it. I want this over here instead. And so I'm going to force that and forget this. Go ahead. But life's going to be much harder for you. And then what's going to happen? That little tap turns into the baseball bat with some type of situation in your life that can be very painful, but it pushes you forward and it makes you deal with those things that you weren't willing to deal with when it was just a little tap on the shoulder. So that's my whole purpose of telling you all about this energy is so you can work with it and your life can be easier and you can be happier and have less stress. It's the main reason why. So we have all of this awareness coming into us, all these different issues coming up, showing us a pathway of where we need to go and what we need to look at. All you have to do is step up and do it. Have I said that enough? I just continue going on and on about this, but I just want to bring that home. Another gift that we're going to have during these 3 months is heightened intuition. What you feel is right for you. It does not matter what anyone else tells you. It does not matter what you think you should feel. Sometimes it doesn't even matter what you're seeing. It's what you're feeling and what you know in your heart is true. That's your intuition. And that's going to help you make the right choices when all this energy comes through and all this awareness comes through. You need to go with your gut. You need to go with your heart. You need to go with your soul. And you need to go with your intuition. Follow those things, and you're not going to be led astray. Now, it may not be what you want to do. And a lot of times, the best lessons learned are when we're doing things that don't feel very enjoyable to us, but we have to face them so that our soul can grow. Unfortunately, we only grow in challenges. When times are great and everything's wonderful, we don't tend to look within as much. And so there is opportunity in challenge. So really trust your intuition during this time. It's going to be stronger than normal, and it's going to show you the right way to go. Also, your emotions are going to be a lot higher during this time, especially around this next week. People are a little wonky right now because the energy is shifting and moving and changing. So, might be a little crazy right now, okay? Just be patient. Don't make any sudden moves. Try to hold space for people and just try to understand that we're all doing the best we can with the energies that we are being sent, with the opportunities that are in our lives, and just try to hold space for people the best that you can. Um, Also, you want to stay positive during this time. Always look for the light. Always look for the good in everything. That's the good part of the Leo energy, also. It's going to be easier to find positive people. It's going to be easier to shift your energy too when you're not feeling great and bring it up a little bit. Be easier to do that. Also, think strategy. The lion out in the open field, he doesn't just pounce on something right away. He sits and he waits and he watches for the opportune time for things. You're going to be getting all these road signs telling you when the opportune time is. Have a strategy in that, and know what's best for you. More than anything, I'm going to say remember the big picture. That's it. Remember the big picture. Don't worry about the details. Don't worry about how something's going to happen. And will this lead to that? And should I do this? And should I do that? And I can't see it happening. And it didn't happen in 2 weeks. So I'm over this. I'm not dealing with it anymore. Stop all that. Just keep your eyes on the prize. If the prize is happiness, keep your eye on that. If it's freedom, keep your eye on that. Balance in your relationships, any of those things that are going to bring joy to your heart, keep your eyes on that and don't worry about all the details because your heart knows what you want. And as long as you put all of that energy into your heart, the details will just fall into place. You don't have to worry about that, okay? Okay. So, I believe that is everything that I have to talk about tonight regarding the upcoming energy. If you have some comments about this, you're welcome to put them in the chat below. You can also find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Angela Boswell, and look me up there. I'm also on Instagram, but I'm just starting that. I'm trying to figure out so many of these new things. I used to be so technologically savvy, but whew, it's hard to keep up sometimes. You can also email me at angela@angelaboswell.com, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have there. For those of you who live locally, my shop is in Tequesta. Stop by and see me there. It's Dream Angels. Okay, so now let's get ready for a meditation. So, my purpose in this meditation is for you to start thinking about those things that you need to let go of. Those things that are just hanging around, taking up room, taking up space in your life, blocking you from happiness and joy. Just got to let them go. But first, we have to think about what they are. So, in order to get into a space where we can access that information and we can let go of things that are not in the front part of our brain all the time, meditation's the best way to do it. So, for tonight's meditation, I'm going to ask you to visualize a globe or a bubble. So, we sell these in the store here. I can't figure out which side of the camera I'm on. Okay, everything's opposite. Okay, I'm going to get this. So I'm going to ask you to visualize a bubble like this, just a clear bubble that you're going to hold in your hands during the meditation, and you're going to fill it with those things that you want to let go of, okay, that you want to complete out of your life or away from you, that kind of thing, okay? So if you can just imagine if this visual helps a little bit, just like a glass globe or a bubble to fill things with. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's get going here for our meditation. Now, I know that if I keep the video up, I know that some of you aren't going to focus on the meditation. They're going to be thinking, what's going on with that girl's hair, you know? Or how come she looks like she never has on makeup? Or she looks totally different than the girl I saw in a reading last week, right? So I don't want you to, or what's that thing behind her head? It's the chakra symbols. You can't see them all, but they're there. Any of those kinds of things are going to distract you from meditation. And that's part of the challenge in meditating is that you keep having to come back to center all of the time. You have to, get back into alignment with your soul. So what I'm going to do is this is very low tech. Oh, I dropped my paper. Okay, this is very low tech, but this is kind of where I am right now. If you haven't noticed yet, this is a one woman show around here, okay? I have all the props and I'm my own technical support. Okay, so we're going to go low tech and I'm just going to cover the camera with this piece of cardboard so that you hear my voice and you focus on it and you focus on the meditation, nothing else. Okay, don't get distracted by anything else. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes so that you're not watching this. Okay, you're going within and you're being quiet and you're working on you. And that's what this is all about, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and block the camera now and I will see you on the other side. So here we go. Go ahead and close your eyes. Sit up straight with your back straight, feet flat on the floor. You're welcome to put your palms up if you like or rest them softly on your lap, whatever feels good for you, okay? Just as long as you're nice and comfortable and grounded. Okay? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. So I'm going to ask you to start with your breath. So breathe in very deeply to the count of 3. So breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Again, breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Again, breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Continue breathing slowly like this. Just breathing in and out. And if you want to take a deep, long exhale, just go ahead and do that. Just let all of that tension out of your body. Continue breathing in and out. Keep breathing slowly like that. And each time you exhale, release more tension from your body. Breathe in that clean, pure air. Release out any worry on the exhale. Again, breathe in. Exhale, release any fear or doubt you may be having. Again, breathe in. Exhale any patterns that do not serve you any longer. So each breathe in, you're breathing in beautiful, pure air. And on your exhale, you're releasing everything that does not serve you any longer. All the tension in your life goes out with the exhale. Continue breathing in and out very slowly. Each exhale takes with it anything that's holding you back, anything that's keeping you where you are, keeping you from your dreams. Just continue breathing in and out. Scan your body and start to notice if there's any tension in your body, and maybe you need to adjust how you're sitting in your chair and just kind of Move around, make sure all that tension is gone and released, and you're feeling more and more relaxed by the moment. Let all the cares of the day just wash off of you. Feel calm, feel relaxed. As you start having thoughts come in, just let them fly by like clouds. They just drift away out of your mind. Just let them all go. Start to feel more and more relaxed. Start to feel like you're in your space, in your truth. Nothing else matters in this moment. Just you, your breath, your body relaxing. There's nothing that needs to be done right now. There's nothing that needs to be thought about. Just be nice and relaxed at this time. Okay? Now remember how before I showed you that glass globe? If you can visualize that globe in the palms of your hands right now, just notice it there, beautiful and shiny and clear. And then start thinking about the things that you want to shift in your life, the things that you want to change. And just imagine them going into this globe. Perhaps you have a relationship that is causing you a lot of turmoil, a lot of angst, a lot of worry. Imagine all of those emotions going right into the globe, just filling it up. Maybe you have some fear about making changes in your life. Maybe you're just unsure of what you want and you don't know what it's going to look like on the other side. You just know that you don't want what you have now. Put that fear into that globe and just fill that up with your heart. All the energy from your heart going right into this globe. Or maybe you want to make some changes in your health, but you just don't think you have the information you need, or maybe you don't have the motivation you need, or you know what, maybe it's just too easy to stay the way it is. You just don't feel like moving forward and making those changes. Put all of that stagnant energy right into that glass globe and just fill it up. Just take another moment and think about anything else, anything bothering you, anything making you feel like you can't be everything that you want to be. Just fill the glass globe with all of that doubt, fear, anger, resentment, worry, anything that doesn't serve you. Just fill the globe full. And when you're done, watch the globe slowly start to rise in front of you. It rises up in front of your chest, up to your chin, up to your nose and your eyes, up to the top of your head, and it starts to float higher and higher from you. And as the globe continues getting further and further away, you start feeling lighter and lighter, and a sense of relief starts coming as you see the globe get higher and higher, and the globe sails out into the night sky, and it rises above the town that you live in, and then it gets higher and higher, and it rises above the state that you live in, and then it gets above the country, the continent. It gets higher and higher. It goes out into space. Gets darker and darker as it goes up. And as it goes up, it continues out into the universe, gets placed in God's hands so that those changes can start to come in your life. You can start being relieved of these things that are keeping you from your happiness. And so it is. It's all being taken care of for you now. Return your focus back to your body and start to feel beautiful golden light pouring down on the top of your head, just like liquid. This light just runs down the top of your head, down your face, down your neck and your shoulders, down your arms, all the way down your fingers, down your chest. The light continues to flow down your torso, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your ankles, all the way down your feet, all the way down to the center of the earth. And this golden light washes you clean. It inspires you. It fills you with divine energy and love and inspiration to make all those changes that are coming your way. It's going to give you the courage and the confidence to move forward and to do these things in your life. Now, start to return your focus back to your body, back right to the center of your chest, your heart chakra. Keep your focus there for just a moment. Feel that golden light start to swirl all around your heart chakra, lighting it up, clearing it, and raising its vibration. And when you start to feel this energy flow through you, bring your presence back to the room. And when you're ready, go ahead and slowly open your eyes. I hope that was enjoyable for you. Thank you for tuning into that and um, lending your energy to this process, because it takes all of us working together to heal and to be inspired and to come together as a community, even when we're not face to face. Energetically, we're all out there helping each other and wishing the best for each of us. So, thank you for joining me tonight. Let me know if you liked this, and I'll do it much more often. I'm just here to say thank you. Thank you all for supporting me all of these years, for attending my classes, for coming in the shop, for getting readings with me, for being my friend. I just appreciate you so much. And I want to thank you for the energy that you lend all of the time. And I just wish you the absolute best in the upcoming years. Not to mention the upcoming months with this craziness, right? So, my last piece of advice is to get out there and roar. Roar with this Leo energy and step in to your divine light. Until next time, have a great night, you guys. Bye bye.